hijackings, hostages, bombings, terrorism in all forms.
In the 1980s, terrorism spreads around the world. America's TV audience is horrified.
Tonight, they are still counting the dead. When we return, we'll talk live with Ben Netanyahu, chargé d'affaires at the Israeli embassy in Washington, and an expert on terrorism.
Practicing before the camera helps Netanyahu express the ideas he absorbed at home clearly and succinctly.
I think we have to recognize that the free world is at war. It's at war with international terrorism. This war is arranged by states.
And the question is, what do you do against a factory that produces the modern plague, the viruses of the modern plague, which is terrorism?
What do we do?
Well, I think what we have to do is arrest the disease and strike at the centers of this cancer.
Bibi's appearances on American television impress Israel's foreign minister. At just 35, he's appointed Israel's ambassador to the UN.
Benjamin Netanyahu, like the country he represents, believes in attacking his attackers. In his recently published book, Terrorism: How the West Can Win, Netanyahu presents a primer for response. President Reagan read the book and was so impressed, he read parts of it aloud to Secretary of State George Shultz. Shultz wrote Netanyahu about that and added, "The President and Nancy also saw you on TV and told me they thought you did a terrific job."
When our citizens are abused or attacked anywhere in the world on the direct orders of a hostile regime, we will respond so long as I'm in this Oval Office.
When President Reagan ordered the attack on Libya in retaliation for the West Berlin disco bombing, he knowingly or unknowingly subscribed to the Netanyahu-Israeli line. Increasingly, people and governments are listening to one man in the fight against terrorism. Ambassador Netanyahu is a rising star in world politics. Some see him as a future prime minister of Israel.